Hello, this is your girl Pam with Pam for Christ. I want to share this story with you. Yes, this does happen. Um, I got kicked out of the church. Okay. Now, what I want to explain to you is, what I want to explain is, yes, things like this do happen. When you have people that's not called by God, that has their own church or starting their own church, then yeah, stuff like this happens because they're going by their own will and by their own emotions when they're running these churches. And you can't just do what you see other people do, or you can't just call yourself called when God didn't call you. And my thing is, a lot of people say, oh, I've been preaching, I had a church for 20, 30, 40 years, baby, and all you got is 5 members. Are you serious? So you should know that's not called of God. You get what I'm saying? Because God's going to grow the church daily as he sees fit, just like he's saying in his word. Now, this what ended up happening. This what ended up happening with this right here. Now, I guess you could say I got kicked out in a nice way, but no, because what you did was still wrong. This actually, I have a part two to go to this, which would be touch not my anointed. So I'm going to tell you in that second part what happened to the guy that kicked me out. Well, okay, so this guy, he was in the church. He started his own. Well, actually, what happened was he got into it with the members and the pastor at the old church he was at. So I was there. I had went there. I had visited or whatever. But it's a lot of stuff I saw, and there's a lot of stuff that I had witnessed that made me be like, church, God, right? Really? Don't think so, because I was looking at how other people was representing God and it was misrepresenting God. So I was like, I'm not trying to do this. I'm not trying to go to church. But then, yet my mom, she kept saying, "Well, I want you to go to church. I want you to join the church, whatever, blah blah blah." So basically, I did it for my mom. But at the same time, I'm glad that I did because I learned so much stuff. Now, mind you, the church that I go to now, oh, love it. I mean, getting the word, you know what I'm saying? I pay my tithes. I mean, I don't see a difference in the people. They're very loving. I get at least, I say maybe like 50 to 75 hugs before I even leave out the church, for that day. So, I mean, I love where I'm at now. But me having to go along and learn what I learned going along, and that will be in a totally different book that I am writing, about the church. But this dude right here, he had, cussed the bishop out and cussed the pastor out and left and started his own church. Okay, I did witness that. And some of you may be saying, well, if you saw him do all that, why did you still join this church? No, I joined this church because of another person that I knew that was a great man of God and he was faithful. I joined because of him. And which still, that's not the reason for you to, join a person's church either, because somebody else asked you, or, you following somebody else. But man, I was young then, I was way younger than I am now, but I did it because I had the connection with him, and I was really getting my ministry and my word from him because, when I met him, I mean, I really was in a bad place, and, he was talking with some sense, and was talking about the Bible, talking about God, and I'm like, yes. So, someone that's not corruptive, that was really teaching me a lot of things, and he was a member of that church, and the only reason, like I said, why I went and I joined was because of him. But I saw and I witnessed a lot of stuff. I was like in control of, I guess you could say, was on a lot of different teams and stuff like that, like dancing and singing and stuff like that or whatever. And I got a chance to see a lot of behind the scenes stuff that was going on. But like I said, all that I learned from it. But what happened was the guy that proclaimed himself as bishop. What he did was the guy that drew me to the church. He was jealous of him because he was a younger guy and he was starting to really grow the church because people was wanting to come to see him because he was younger, he was on their level, he was able to really get the people in, and he was able to minister to young and old. So it really didn't matter, because he had the Spirit of God, he had the word in him. He was just under the wrong leadership by being at that man's church. And like I said, I joined because of him. But he got jealous because he started letting the guy teach on Wednesday. So the church, well, actually it wasn't a church at first. We was at another building. It was like it was like a conference room or whatever. And once that got full, he ended up purchasing the church. But the only reason why it was full, especially on those Wednesdays, was because of the young pastor guy that sort of brought me in. So you had people coming just to see him because, like I said, he was fire. You know what I'm saying? So you got jealous and mad, and so now you made him stop doing the midweek Bible study session because you were mad that he had more people coming on Wednesday than you did on Sunday. Because nobody want to hear you. You know what I'm saying? You was all flesh in your message. Nobody want to hear you. Okay. So he got upset about that, and it's like every time I turn around, everybody was talking about this particular young pastor. Oh, he's so good, he's so this, he's so that, da da da. And they're inviting their friends, they're inviting their family, and I'm telling you, it was full. And so even though it was full in the conference room because of that, he still bought the church because he knew it would still stay full because that pastor was there. So he was packing it out. I mean, packing it out. I mean, it was people that the pastor knew that he was inviting, from other states and stuff like that was coming to preach. And I mean, we had a lot of people coming in, like I said, but just on Wednesdays. Okay, he got jealous, of course, and he told him stop preaching on Wednesday. And so when the people caught on to, well, where is, Pastor such and such, he ain't preaching this Wednesday, that's the reason why I'm here, blah, blah, blah. He did that maybe for like 2 Wednesdays in a row. And when that third Wednesday came and you saw that the people wasn't coming on that Wednesday because you didn't know, you no longer wanted him to preach for you on that Wednesday, we were like, oh, okay. So now the attendance then fell all the way back down because, you got jealous and mad and didn't want him to preach. So in order to get the attendance back up, because you wanted that money, then what you did was put him back on Wednesdays. But you didn't tell the people which Wednesdays. You just put him back on Wednesdays that you want to put him back on. Oh, okay. So after that, he ended up letting him do Bible study in the morning time. Sunday schools. He did the Sunday school at 10, and then the jealous bishop. He got up at 11 o'clock. So to get your attendance up on Sundays, that's what you had to do. You rotated him every other Wednesday, but then you put him up there every Sunday because you knew that would get the people in. So you wanted the people to hear him, but at the same time hear you too, because you knew that they would stay because he asked, the young pastor asked them to stay, or because you just heard, this word for an hour and then you don't mind about staying because we switching right over to, praise and worship and all that or whatever. Okay. So you got the attendance up by really using and bootlegging the young pastor. Okay. So it got to the point where now, we're really growing, but like I said, it was because of the young pastor that was there. But now we're growing, you switch churches again, you get you another big church, and we're like, okay, yeah, we proud of you, you moving along, you doing the doggone thing. But like I said, all of this was about flesh. Okay. So when we got to the new building, it had got to the point where I got tired of, just pretending. So I still, respect it, still kept my mouth closed, but I got tired of pretending. So like a lot of things I started to expose, but I did it in a nice way. I wasn't the type where I was running around telling everybody, ooh, this going on, this going on. It wasn't like that at all. You asked my opinion, I gave you my answer, in which the answer was a truthful answer, but you asked my opinion, I gave you the answer. A lot of people started feeling the same way that was in the church. They started noticing things, they started seeing things, and it got to the point where they just didn't want to be there anymore. But it's like they was looking for a confirmation in order for them to leave. Now, mind you, I'm the type of person where since I was 3 years old, I dreamed, God showed me things in dreams and it always happened. So within, the next few hours or within the next 7 days, it doesn't take more than 7. Whatever I dreamed about ended up happening. So I'm like, okay, well, what you ended up doing was he was trying to turn people against the young pastor. Okay, so in that you were holding private meetings to talk about him, dog him out or whatever, and then get the people to make him feel bad, vote against him or whatever to try to get him to leave, or try to push him on out there, like make him go, because now you have what you want, which is the people. Now you have what you want, which is the numbers. Okay, so time came with my meeting. You had at least 20 private meetings. It was sort of like a split vote. You had like 10 people that was like, yeah, we can do that. We can get rid of them. We can lie on them. We can do this. We can do that. You had 8 that was undecided. You had 2 that was decided. I was the decided person, and there was one more person that was decided. But the thing about it, the 2 decided people were the ones that you came up against, and those were the 2 that you decided that you wanted to act a fool with to try to make them quit. Oh, okay, cool. This what ended up happening. So he it was a guy, and of course he told his wife what happened, whatever, blah blah blah. Him and the wife, he talked about the guy in the pulpit so bad to the point where the guy got up and he left. I was like, oh wow, I knew what was happening, I knew what was going on. But you thought that you can get the 8 people that wasn't decided, you thought that you can get them to change their mind, like I said, to try to vote him out or push him out or whatever you thought that you were going to do. Well, when he called me in, he was talking crazy. And see, the thing about it is, I had already saw it, God had already showed me in the dream, but at the same time, I can see like particular, I guess you could say, spirits. And this dude, he was crawling with them. So it's like his eyes was red, smoke was coming out his ears. I mean, he was very livid. He was acting a mess. He was a fool. And I knew, that he was operating under a demonic power. You know what I'm saying? So, just even knowing that it wasn't him that was speaking, I still tried to respect that. But oh my goodness, when I told him I wasn't gonna come up against the man did nothing to me. I'm not gonna do that. That's wrong, blah blah blah. This man got mad at me. He doggone hit his hands on that desk. He started cussing me out. I was like, oh, you serious? Just cuss me? I'm like, okay. Lord, you're going to have to forgive me. But I went to cussing right back. Now, mind you, that ain't the thing to do. But I went to cussing him right back. That was my first time ever cussing out a bishop. Yes, I did that. But the thing about it was, I didn't know no better. I wasn't proud of it. And yeah, God spanked my behind for doing that. Even though I didn't know no better, I still got a spanking behind that. God dealt with me. But I was like, wow, serious? You just this, dedicated to trying to get rid of this dude. You cussed me out because I won't, join in on your little plan? Serious? I'm like, okay. So when I left, I was like, I'm not finna leave the church because I really wanted to see how this right here was going to pan out, right? So now you did me like you did the dude. You started talking about me in the pulpit, saying this, saying that, da da da. I'm like, oh, okay. I'm still sitting there every Wednesday and Sunday. I wasn't going nowhere. Because like I said, baby, you can't scare me. Sweetheart, y'all know what I've been through, especially if you're looking at the channel, baby. You know the stuff that I've been through and the people I used to hang around and the unsavory folks and the guns and the shootouts and all that, baby. You really think you finna scare me? Oh, please. I wasn't going nowhere. Okay, so... So my thing is, I had to do a dance at a civic center with a friend of mine. We had a great big program that was going on, and actually it was a sort of like a competition. And praise dance, y'all. We ain't on poles around here, okay? I'm gonna go ahead and clear that up. All right, I'm a little too big for the pole. But let me stop. But we had a program that we had to do, but at the same time, the church had an anniversary. I was responsible for bringing, all the drinks. So what I did was I had left out, went to the car, I got the drinks, but I transferred them to my friend's car because I knew I had to leave early. So he instructed the usher to lock the door. Are you sick? Well, how long that man? It ain't like the church is that big, you know what I'm saying? So when you instructed her to lock the door, I'm standing by the door because I'm getting ready to come in. He told her to lock the door because he saw me coming back. Oh, are you see? So here I am on the outside of the church knocking on the door. Now I know I'm disturbing because of the simple fact that the church is like one great big room, but you got the doors in the back, you got the windows in the back, you got the pulpit up front, you got the chairs in the middle. So yeah, y'all can hear me knock on the door. So the pastors, in which the pastor that I joined the church, his daughter got up and opened the door for me because she was sitting back in the back. She got up and opened the door. So she gave me that look like, And I knew what was going on, but I was like, okay. I was like, all right. He locked me out. So is that a message right there? Okay. So I got up the second time and I had to leave out. I had to handle some more business, but when I came back in, it was already my intention to go ahead and leave because, the girl had texted me, told me we needed to be there early. So I had left out. She told her to lock the door again. The usher locked the door. I was all serious. So I was like, okay, you want to play them games. So when I came back in with the intention, I was getting my Bible, getting my purse, getting all my stuff, my shirt and all, my jacket and all that or whatever. This man had the nerve to, now I'm not in the front, I'm in the back. This man had the nerve to stop the sermon because you're trying to embarrass me, in which you weren't nowhere near in the spirit when you did what you did. But you said, I'm not finna have all that walking in and out of my church. My church now, that's what he said. Either you stay in or either you get out. But I prefer you to go ahead and get out and don't come back. said, okay. So I walked right on up there to where he was. And I was trying to cuss him out, and I'm telling you, I tried. Right when I opened my mouth, my doggone tongue got stuck to the roof of my doggone mouth. It got stuck. My tongue got stuck to the roof of my mouth. I wasn't able to talk. I wasn't able to say anything. Now, mind you, I had already cussed him out once before. Okay, so I guess God didn't want me to really get in trouble. So he literally held my tongue. So for those that say, oh, I held my tongue, if your tongue never got stuck to the roof of your mouth and you weren't able to talk and you weren't able to move it, that's called holding your tongue. And see, God had to do that. Okay, so after that, and I saw that I couldn't talk, and everybody was like, you all right? What's wrong? I don't know whether y'all thought I was stroking out or seizing out or what, because I couldn't talk, but I sure was trying. And the Spirit told me, be quiet, be quiet, I'm holding your tongue on purpose, be quiet. I'm like, okay. Sometimes it takes me a minute, but I am obedient. I went ahead and got my stuff. I left on out. Yet, you locked the door for the third time. To me, 3 times a charm, 3 strikes you out. Oh, I got the message. And God told me then while I was walking away, don't come back. Don't come back. And I'm like, okay, so I didn't come back. But that was me getting politely kicked out and told not to come back because I knew your little secrets and I knew what you was trying to do. But yet, the next night, God had already showed me what was going to happen, which was the church was going to split, then the church was going to fall. So guess what happened? The church split and the church fell. Okay? Now, after that, I didn't gloat, I didn't brag, I didn't do none of the above because God had already showed me. Yeah, I prayed for him. That's what I did because he definitely needed a lot of prayer. But that was my experience with getting kicked out and getting locked out. Now, mind you, this didn't happen the second go round. Now the second go round, and the thing about it is nothing that, like I said, that I did because I was being the good little girl. But yet at the same time, spirit does recognize spirit, and when the enemy see that you're not up with all his tricks and games and stuff, he's gonna try to find a way to get rid of you. Simple as that. You know, and like I said, when the second go round came, I did the same thing. I'm being faithful. I'm going to church. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. But then, like I said, when the church is ran by a person and not by the, God or the Spirit of God, and you're doing your own thing, then destruction tends to, to come to that particular church. You guys not understanding. Okay, you have 4,000 churches that close. 4,000 churches that close per year. So that lets you know you have so many that get started, but you still have so many that closes per year. Because like I said, you're trying to do this on your own volition, instead of you listening to what God told you to do, because like I said, God's going to grow it how he sees fit anyway. But like I said, that second go around, I voluntarily left. But see, even though you were saying, and this was at a different church, and then the killer part about it was the pastor that had actually drafted me in because he started his church and he was like, you know what, I'm not going to be the same. I'm not going to do the same thing that the other guy did, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, you can say that all day long, but at the same time, will you do it? Which is the reason why you need to just walk, your life daily a little bit at a time. You can't just say that you're going to do this and you're going to do that A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and then when the time comes, you end up doing the same thing that this pastor had did to me. And you started doing it to everybody, to the point where now you have that particular reputation and you've been preaching for 23 years, and yet you have, on a good day at your church, 12 people. On a bad day, 5. But you've been preaching for 23 years and you've had your own church for, what, now, 15 years? Now, yeah, 16 years you've had your own church. And yet, like I said, you still have between 5 and 7 members on Sunday. So you need to look at the fact that you're doing something wrong. But yeah, I'm going to explain that second pastor as well on the second part of this, which would be, touching on my anointing. But, they just have to realize you can't just do what you want to do. But like I said, with the 4,000 per year churches that close, yeah, that's the reason why, because they're not treating the people fair. They're not treating the people the way that they need to be treated. And like I said, you can't just start something on your own and then think that it's going to be all right when God never told you to start it. But yeah, like I said, I got kicked out. I got locked out. And like I said, the second time I voluntarily left, even though you tried to push me out and you actually did tell me to get out. But like I said, I voluntarily went ahead and left. But even with that, like I said, I learned my lesson, but I'm somewhere now where I don't have to deal with that. I can just sit, get the word, and keep it moving. But this is your girl Pam with Pam for Christ. Like, share, subscribe, but also, let me know about your experience or somebody else's experience that that got pushed out the church or got kicked out the church. But like I said, it has nothing to do with what you're doing. You're not to say that you're the person that's doing something wrong. No, like I said, when you're starting it, these churches the wrong way, then people tend to leave. They come and they go just like that. So just let me know what you guys think. I'll holler at you later. Peace. Love you.